Okay, so the question is, how can you quickly sort your um, spreadsheet and do so in a way that you're not manually moving people around? Uh, so if I wanted to put Augustine up here at the top, I don't want to have to actually physically sort them like this and move them around. So how do you do that? Well, first you want to take some steps to set up your spreadsheet. So this is a very simple sort of gradebook kind of um, setup. I've only got a few names here. I have column headers at every column. Now what I want to do is come up here to my this little line, click on it, and drag it down so that it encompasses the first row. By doing that, what I'm saying to the spreadsheet program, Google Sheets, is this top row is the heading of the column. So first name, last name, assignment. Otherwise, when I start sorting, I may actually end up having first name mixed in with my data, and I don't want that to occur. Now, once this is done, I usually like to format it a little bit so it's easier to distinguish. I can see here that I have several assignments and then an average, and the average is going to be for each row. So let me do some other quick formatting. I also like to center my grades so that they are easier for me to see, and there's additional formatting that I could do, but I'm going to leave it alone for right now. Now, to do a quick formula, I'm just going to type in an equal sign, average, and select the cells that I want. Notice that Google Sheets, like any other spreadsheet, will create a range, and it'll say C2 colon E2. So C2 starts here, E2 ends here, and it's just really the name of the column and the cell. The colon represents a range, in other words, everything in between. When I close parentheses and press enter, it's going to put the average of these three grades, 99, 65, and 93, into the F column. Now I have too many decimal points, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop that down so that I just have 0 decimal points and I have one number as the average. Now I don't have to copy and paste this formula all the way down. All I have to do is come here and fill down, just using that little handle and dragging down, and it's going to adjust the formula for every one of these rows. Now I still want to be able to sort, and usually we want to sort by last name. You can see I still have some of this information that's not sorted properly. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this little down delta that you don't see until you come right up to the column, and it's right there on all of them. So I'm going to go to column B because that's my last name, and then I'm going to come down and sort sheet A to Z. Now if I did sort sheet Z to A, it would go the opposite direction, but I want alphabetical order, not reverse alphabetical order, so I'm going to go with sort sheet A to Z. Once I do that, you can see that Juan Gonzalez has moved up from where he was down at the bottom, and all the other names are now in alphabetical order. If I wanted to sort by average, I could come over here to my column, my F column, and then sort Z to A, where I want the highest average first, lowest average at the bottom. So what we should see is that John Juarez will end up at the top, and Juan Gonzalez will end up at the bottom. And as you can see, that's exactly what happened. I now have an average that's sorted in that way. So you can sort your data any way you want. What I also like to do sometimes is I might make that sheet the grades, and then sometimes what I'll do is I'll add another sheet right in front of it for statistical purposes. So for example, let's say I wanted to share total students, and then I wanted to see class average. Actually, I probably would do it like this. So how many students do I have in my class? Well, there's a very easy formula I could use. I could just type in the equal sign, type in count A, open parentheses, and then switch over to my tab and just highlight the first 30 something rows. If I have more students, I would keep on highlighting. Once I have that, I close parentheses and press enter, and you can see right away that it represents 4 students. And when you look, that's all I actually have, 4 students. Now if I want to get the class average, I can do the same thing. I can do equal average, open parentheses, come back over to my grades, and then highlight everything in the F column. And what this is going to do is give me an average of all the students' averages there. So for 4 students, I have a class average of 88. So you can see how this might be pretty useful. Now, let's say I want to do averages for the different assignments. So I'm just going to put A1, A2, A3, and that will just represent for me assignments 1, 2, and 3. So again, I can just average, and in this way I'm able to see how well students did on any given assignment. Now I'm kind of curious, I wonder if I could just drag down and actually get the formula to get reflected. So let me verify that. In the first formula for assignment 1, I averaged grades, that's the name of the tab, C2 through C5. So what I would hope to see for assignment 2 is probably D2 through D5. It didn't quite work that way, did it? No, it didn't. So that didn't work. So I need to change my range for D2 through D5 on this one. And you know, since I'm probably going to be adding a lot more grades, I'm just going to kick it up to 35. So D2 through the D35, and you can see my average for assignment number 2 is an 86. And then I have to do the same thing, but this time it's column E. And again, how do I know that? Well, it's because assignment 3 is inside the E column. So these are just some quick ways to get some statistics and information. If I want to, I can graph this information, create a chart, and when I click on my chart tool, it's going to throw up a random chart, and you can see what pops up. So there we go. So now I can see my 4 students, my assignment, my class average, and then my assignments. All of them have a different. If I wanted to change this, I could come in and format a data point, and I can just click add and say that I want assignment 1 to be a particular color. I'm just going to say red. And I could do the same thing with each one of these. So I could say add, and for assignment 2 I want the color to be green. And then for assignment 3 I want it to be where is it? Let's make it yellow. So now I know my class average is in blue, my assignment 1 is in red, my it's green. Now one last thing that I like to do for formatting is I like to be able to alternate the row colors, and it's kind of hard to just do that one by one. So it's better to use a style tool of some sort. So there are a lot of different style tools. Some of them do cost money. So I'm just going to see if I can get table styles and install it individually on my account. Notice I have to answer a bunch of questions about privacy and more. And so hopefully I now have the table styles. And so I can manage or apply style. And here are all the different styles I can apply. So, like I said, I'm not looking for something incredibly complicated, but I guess I'll go with that. And I'm going to get rid of the total row. And just see what happens. So you can see I now have formatted this. It's not exactly the way I'd like it, so I'm just going to Control Z and undo and come back, reselect the columns that I want, and let me go ahead and just select a few more and then apply them again. And this looks a little bit better. As you can see, I now have the student's first name, the last name, assignment 1, assignment 2, etc. And all of these rows are formatted so they're ready to go when I start putting in information. So very straightforward, quick overview of the sample gradebook. Thanks for watching.